The only way you lose a deal is if they go into your bank account and pull the money out. That's never happened.
It has become more difficult to run a smaller brokerage and remain profitable. Seeing the company just get better and better and better all the time.
It's like a slap in the face to where, oh my God, what am I doing? Because that sounds sexy and fun and easy.
I'm afraid of trying something new.
Listen, whatever you're gonna try, you're not gonna die.
You have made me a much better person, a much better man, a much better father, a much
That's
better
awesome.
business person.
You guys have to realize, okay, this is at a high level, okay? Welcome to Uncommon Edge, and I have Mr. Todd Sumney, the Chief Industry Officer of Homesmart.
It is so nice to be here with all of you today, and especially with you, Mr. Panozzo. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, and
Yeah.
this is just going to be a continuation of the other podcasts that we did together.
Right?
I say we just let it rip.
Yeah.
Because
Let's do it.
I think today, in today's world of podcasts and everything, people just want to hear conversation of things that are going on. Now,
Right.
obviously, we're going to talk about real estate, but we're also
Right.
going to talk about the personal side of things and just life in general and people, I think, because there's a lot going on in this world.
There is.
Social media, the media itself, and some of these things, there's pros and cons to all of it. So
Right.
we can just unpack whatever we want and talk about whatever we want. So
Yeah.
first and foremost, so you've been with HomeSmart for how long now?
I've been with Homesmart over 11 years. 11 years. The company was much smaller, very different, and I've just, seen the company just get better and better and better all the time. And I think that really is an underlying, an underlying tenet that everybody should keep in mind is that if you are keeping your customer in mind as customer first, what can we do to get better? I don't know if I told you the story one day about the 300 comment cards. Did I tell you that story?
No, please share.
When I first joined HomeSmart, we used to get 300 written comment cards from agents working on transactions. Today they're all electronic, but we still get them, we still read them to this day. But back then, I remember one week in particular, we got 299 "We love yous." And this is great, I love this, I love that, I love that. And there was one, "This was a bad experience, this needs fixed, blah, blah, blah." And it had a note from Matt Widows, the owner, with a Post-it note on my desk. And it was like, "Fix this." And I remember my initial reaction was, we had 299 love yous. And you're honing in on this one of, what it does. But I quickly learned that that's what makes companies great. That's what makes people great. Because if you are paying attention to every little detail like that, and more importantly, that you have the desire to fix it. You have the desire that all 300 are awesomes, okay? That is where greatness comes from. And where customer satisfaction comes from. And it makes you better. And the other thing you learn too is that if the one person said it, there's probably 10 other people that are thinking it. Mm-hmm. So it needs fixed. So that was one of my early lessons from Matt Widows and from HomeSmart, but also became an admiration, and I learned to listen to it over the years, and and it actually changed me. It changed me as a person, because you can't work somewhere for 11 years that's that mindset without changing you too, or without you having that same mindset. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's like,
and I know you all aspire to that here too. I know it's hard coaching.
Yeah.
That's in your kitchen,
Yes.
right? Okay? And it might not be fun to hear, but let's talk.
100%. And I think that regardless of where you're at in the scale of the business, so to speak, if you're the lowest person, middle person, top person, there is nothing that is beneath you to have to do. And that's that ownership mentality, right?
Correct.
And so many people in today's world, it's like, oh, that's not my job. Or
Right.
you know what, that's Susie Q's thing. You'll have to get with her. And
Or an executive that's elevated to a certain position, and it's like there's spilled coffee around that. Somebody get this coffee.
Correct.
Right? Come on, let's clean up the coffee.
hey, this morning, I mean, seriously, I walked in, I threw something away in the trash. I'm like, it smells. Now, could I have just let it go and not said anything, or grab the trash, take it out, and there wasn't that much trash?
Yeah.
But it's little things like that. Or if
Right.
there's something on the floor, pick it up.
Right.
Like, it's that pride of ownership that
Yes.
people don't have.
Well, it's a pride of excellence, too. It's just a pride of excellence, because there is something to be said for when you reach a certain level in any organization, in any role, even in mid-level or whatever. There's something to be said for delegation, but there's also something to be said for it takes 30 seconds to grab that trash can and just take care of it right now. And I'm no better than anyone else in the company. I mean, this needs done. Let's do
Right.
it. And I think that's that's an excellence thing too, not just ownership.
So all right, so now let's go back.
Sorry, did I say something wrong?
No, let's go back. Let's go back
Okay.
in time.
Yeah.
Where did Todd learn because that's not something that, oh, read the employee handbook and you're like, oh, okay, I got it.
Right.
Where in your early career, or a parent or some authority figure person in your life kind of like said, hey, Todd, like, pick that up, and you're like, why should I pick it up? Like, was
Right.
there someone that made you aware of it?
All of the people that you mentioned, okay? So my father, my mother, my grandfather, my grandmother, friends, teachers, colleagues, mentors, because some people would just reach down and pick it up themselves, and not say anything. A good coach, a good mentor, a good team leader is going to be like, pick it up and let's talk about why you need to pick it up and not just walk past it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that this is, part of what I see in your organization, just having a great conversation with your wife just a moment ago, about the industry. I attended a conference last week in Washington, D.C., the only people at the conference. It was Real Estate Magazine, RIS Media is the media company that runs it, and the only people there were C-level executives from the real estate industry, either at the brokerage level or at the franchise level.
Okay.
But it was really about the CEO exchange, is what it's called, CEO and leadership exchange. And it really is to talk and transparently talk about issues and how we can help serve agents. And one of the things that's happened in the real estate industry, I'll come back to it, I'll make sure I don't digress too far. But one of the things that happened in the real estate industry in the last couple of years is that with the economy, the business, the way things are going, it has become more difficult to run a smaller brokerage and remain profitable. And it candidly even is difficult to run a large brokerage, and especially a transaction fee model brokerage, and remain profitable. We
Right.
are, but we are lean.
Yes.
We are lean and quick and nimble, but we're doing that because we also don't want to overcharge. We want to provide value to agents, right?
Right.
But as this happens, the overall industry as a whole has started to see larger brokerages, because it is too difficult for the smaller brokerages to remain profitable and remain in business. So instead, there has been a movement and a need for teams, and meaning that COVID hit, everybody went home, now everybody's trying to work from home, but the brokerages are larger, and what agents need is they need that coaching, that camaraderie, that excellence along the way, and it's a real opportunity for people to join teams like yours.
Right.
Because that mentorship that you got along the way and that you're looking for in someone who's going to stretch you and make you better and might even tell you things that are uncomfortable. We were on that listing appointment together, and when the client said this, you kind of you responded this way.
Yeah.
What if we would have responded this way?
Yeah.
Would it have helped? Difficult to hear, but it makes that agent better. And I think that there are people that look to surround themselves with that because they're constantly wanting to get better. I had a Sunday school teacher once who said, it's the overachievers. And he said, you all in here right now are the overachievers because you're not satisfied with where you're at. And you want to have some accountability, you want to have some self-reflection, and you want to get better. And so you want to surround yourself with people who are going to challenge you, coach you, and make you better. So number one, I'm just saying, as anybody that's listening, if you are lonely, you're looking for your business is operating at a certain level, but you know you could be doing 2x the level. Yeah, you can get there by yourself, and you can do all the different things. But you could also look to a team and a team leader or a mentor or somebody to help you get there, or a coach. Yeah. So anyway, back to your question. My dad, my mom, my teachers, everybody I grew up with, and really people that I've surrounded myself with my whole career, starting in graphic design, starting in advertising. I knew nothing. Yeah. But people taught me, and I am very grateful to those people who taught me. But I was also open to it, or I found that I was better when I was open to it. There might have been times in my career where I closed off, and I think that's maybe where I plateaued or I hit a difficulty. Yeah. Does that make sense?
What? 1,000%. Because when you're like, oh, mentor, there's this one guy, Sergeant Appenzeller, when I was in the military.
All right. Yeah.
I was an E1 private, and I remember showing up for formation. My boots, you could see yourself in my boots.
Right.
But my pants were wrinkled, and my top was semi-wrinkled. Because I was like, oh, where's my stuff? And put it on. And he got in my face. And this was after basic training and stuff, and you get a little relaxed. Almost like you said, hey, you kind of plateaued. Like, oh, I'm through the basic training. Like, I can relax now.
Right.
And I remember in formation, he's like, he looked at me, he gets in my ear, he goes, Panozzo, what the hell are you doing? Your boots look great. Your pants look like crap. And I don't know what's going on with your shirt. When are you going to tie it all together?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I don't get a bonus point for the boots?
Right.
Like it's all of it.
Right.
And so what that did was that instilled me, if you're going to do something, you have to go all in. And so what I'm seeing in today's world, not just in real estate, just all around, it's like, oh, I'm going to try to go on this diet. Or I'm going to try to start working out. Or, I'm going to try this new job and see if it works.
Right.
And then what happens is when it doesn't serve them well, because now they have to get uncomfortable to get better, they quit and they go over here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try this again. It's no different than the old, on Monday I'm going to start my diet.
Right.
But this weekend I'm going to eat 14 pizzas and, 2 liters of Mountain Dew, for God's sake.
Right.
And people have this tendency to want to skirt around the hard work.
Right.
That's the one thing that I see with agents. It's like, hey, we're going to work on how we're going to talk to clients. Okay, so go ahead, Todd. So let's go. What do you know about the market? Hey, we're just practicing, right?
Right.
And it's like they don't want to put that work in, but heaven forbid we have a 3-hour lesson on how to get leads off of Instagram. The room's packed.
Right.
Because that sounds sexy and fun and easy.
Right. It's uncomfortable when it's intimate.
Correct.
When it's one-on-one, but yet time and time again when I interview agents or I just spend time in offices with agents, agents that invite that into their life and surround themselves with people like that, take time to work on your business, not in it. In that day-to-day. Yep. Yeah, every day I'm so busy, it's 8 o'clock, blah, 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 blah. And where's the time where you're actually going to look back and reflect, man, I wasted a lot of time doing this. I got nothing for it, doing this. And candidly, this one, yesterday I was just on social for an hour laughing and, and nothing. I wasted an hour. Yeah. And then I stayed up an hour later where I could have got some sleep and, felt better today. Yeah. So it's like, invite that, people who invite that. And that's one thing back to, you said, the Homesmart executive team, we invite that among each other. and we make time for it as an executive team to regularly schedule, sit down, have those check-ins, and it's at all levels, because even sometimes it's not just as a team, but then it's also even the individual one-on-one, because that's the only way you really can communicate and can get better. And that's one area, I think, for just real estate in general. Often there's a lot of agents that are just alone.
Yes.
Alone.
They isolate.
They might have a spouse. They might have a family member. They might have someone, but even then, they're alone. They get up in the morning, their spouse goes to work, and they're alone. And so, yes, you can do it, but then I would invite that agent, get into the office. Surround yourself with the agents in the office and see what they're doing and listen.
We have a joke around here. We're like, if you were to put in a solid, and I mean solid, 30 hours a week, you would do halfway decent.
Right.
30 hours. But see, what happens is there's this blurred line in real estate because they work from home. Maybe some work from an office. It doesn't matter. But a majority, let's face it, a lot of people work from home.
Right.
So they get up, their laptop is open, they got their workout clothes on. Maybe they checked a couple emails. Maybe they went to Pilates or did a workout. Maybe met someone for coffee, returned some emails. See, in their mind, they're working. So they think.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, it's like, oh, I get to do that over again. And it's the same thing. And what happens is as time goes on, they're not really working, okay?
Right.
Because when people get bent out of shape over, oh, I got this open house this weekend, it's 3 hours.
Right.
Stop it.
Right.
If 3 hours is going to throw you for a loop, you need to take a step back and really look at what are you doing on a daily basis? Because usually and this is you got to try this, okay, and write this down. This is a great exercise. So when an agent's like losing their mind, they're like, I don't have any time and I'm just losing my mind. I'm like, okay, do me a favor. Entertain me right now. There's 168 hours in a week. We all have that. Then I'm like, hey, Todd, so how many hours a night do you sleep? Like, oh, 7. Okay, so 7 times 7 minus 49. Okay. Now, and I go down.
Right, break it down.
You know what the average is that I come up with of leftover time? What do you think? Just guess.
Leftover time?
Leftover time.
It's very small. I'm going to say leftover time. Well, I don't know. Keep going. Unpack it for me when you say leftover time.
And this is...
I'm thinking that by the time you really do everything, there really isn't that much that is left over. But when you dig into it about all the wasted time in between, there's a lot of...
Now, again, these are the people that have young children, families... Right. The spouse works or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And I go through everything from, okay, you go grocery shopping, prepping the food, helping the kids get off to school. Like, I go very detailed.
Right.
Typically, I end up finding there's 30 hours. 30 hours a week that they have of wasted time. So then I'm like...
That's not designated to anything.
Correct!
Oh,
but they say that they're busy.
Okay, right.
I'm busy.
Right.
So then it's like, well, what are you really doing with your time? And it's almost like this, it's like a slap in the face to where, oh my God, what am I doing? Because I'm adding in there your prospecting time, your open house times, the picking kids up time, the going, your workout time, your sleep time, and they still have this 30-some hours of leftover time. And it puts things in perspective to where, what am I really doing with my time?
Right.
And that's the biggest thing that I see with agents is they're not focused because there isn't accountability. You are the accountability, and so you let yourself slide.
Right. Right.
Just crazy. See, I got your mind blown on that.
You got my mind, yeah. I'm going to have to do that exercise.
Do it.
I'm going
to
have to do that exercise.
Okay, it's like, okay, I spend X amount of time over at Homesmart, and then I do this with the wife, all this stuff, and you're like, oh my God.
My thing, I do know there are some weeks where I waste more time than others. And one of the things that I found for me personally with time management, and again, I learned this from Matt and several of the other leaders at Homesmart too, is about just every little thing going on your calendar as much as possible.
Yes.
And meaning that if I want to review a brochure, okay, I can put it on a to-do list over here that says review that brochure, but really until it gets on my calendar at 8:15 in the morning after, then I'm going to review that brochure for 15 minutes, okay? Because that's how long it's going to take me to review that brochure. And, and then it also will even highlight how many other things that are on my list that I need help with, I need someone else to do, or I need to cross it off, it's just a waste. Or I need to move something from here and replace it with something over here that's really important that's on a to-do list but not on my calendar.
Yeah.
And I just find those days that I have my calendar just really going, even from waking up in the morning, I'm going to work out. I'm going to walk the dogs.
I have
spend
everything.
some time.
I put everything on my calendar.
Okay. There
Everything.
You go. See?
Like everything.
See?
Because when you do that,
right.
There's no decision fatigue.
No, there isn't.
You're not thinking about something.
It's kind of like you're always on too, because I'm 10 minutes behind. I was supposed to be doing this, and you end up overachieving, not underachieving, right? Because you stick to it.
Let me ask you this: what? And again, you guys have to realize, okay, this is a high level, okay? Todd is in a corporate C-suite scenario. I'm a team leader / agent. These are some of the tools and traits of what it takes to be in leadership, okay? I'm fascinated. We're just going to do a little survey here.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you engage with a lot of different people in real estate at different levels and stuff, team leaders, agents, so on and so forth. What would you say the top three? I want to go top 3 negatives and top 3 positives. What do you hear from most agents that are kind of the ones that are like, if the market could just change, or what are the top 3 negative things that you hear? And then let's follow that up with what are the top 3 things that are positive that you're hearing from agents? Because I know there's probably 2 different camps.
How about not just hearing, but in what I observe? Is that okay?
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
That's better.
So in number one, I would say that one of the beautiful things about real estate is that a career in real estate really can be very fulfilling in many different ways to different people. And for example, when we're doing a goal setting class, one goal might be I want to double my amount of transactions next year. One goal could be I want to do the same amount of transactions that I did last year, but I want to do it in half the amount of time so that I can spend more time with my family.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a goal. It's not necessarily a real estate, but yes, I guess it is a real estate goal. It's
sure,
but it's a personal goal of I want to spend more time with my family, or I've realized I'm not spending enough time with my family. I spent too much time working last year. And yes, I hit this number, but I need to spend more time and carve out responsibility. So I think that those that actually take time, number one, they take time to put down goals and put down a vision of how they want to see their year go, their week go, their day go. That they have a way of executing it better than others, and they have a way of achieving their goals better than others.
Okay.
And that goal could be personal.
Sure.
Where I've seen I just talked to an agent yesterday who her daughter's a senior in high school, coming home for lunch. She started blocking out this year, has never done it before, but an hour in the middle of the day for lunch with her daughter.
That's awesome.
Because she knows her daughter's going to come pop in the front door, and she knows she's got 1 year left with her, and she's going off to college.
Yep.
And if she doesn't put it on her calendar and write it down, it's not going to happen. Or she's on a phone call, or hey, I got to go to an inspection or something.
Not being present.
So she made that a priority and a goal, and she's executing it, and she's reaping the rewards of it. You could see it on her face. She's happy. I'm getting this time with my daughter. So it's about vision and execution and goal setting and putting it down on paper. That's a positive, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, it is the surrounding themselves with people who make you better. I had an old mentor. I didn't mean old. I had years ago a mentor in the business here in real estate, a broker, who told me that if you want to be a better golfer, golf with good golfers. If you don't want to, then just, if you don't care, then just go out with whoever. But if you want to become better, surround yourself. If you want to become a better speaker, or surround yourselves with people who are good speakers who will teach you, or, and then you pick up these little traits, the book that you read, the podcast you listen to. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's really about top agents surrounding themselves intentionally with people that will help them live life the way they want to live. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but see, they're scared to do that. That's what's
Some
holding them back.
Yeah. So, you're right.
To put themselves, insert themselves in to a group of people, okay, whether it be a mastermind or whatever. Hey, Todd, you mind if I, come hang out with you or something? It's like, that's what's holding them back from opening up a new door.
Right.
Because I used to be like that.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
Years ago, like, why would I want to go, hey, why would they want to be around me, this and that? Well, you're the fly on the wall at the beginning phases.
Right.
You're kind of this fly on the wall, kind of checking things out, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, maybe you find something common with someone, and then you open up a conversation. And
you have to invite that into your life. That's why we talked about this at the beginning of the podcast a little bit, because it is uncomfortable. And you got to put yourself out there. You got to push past your boundaries. So somewhere in this Section 1 and Section 2 that I'm talking about is pushing past your boundaries and getting uncomfortable.
It's that messy middle.
And it's that and one of the ways you can do that is by surrounding yourself with people who just aren't going to let every little thing slide. I invited this into my life at one point, and there was someone who was making me practice, and correcting every little thing. And then later on, I was like, thank you. No, honestly, thank you. Gratitude, right? And, thanks for, you're giving me pushback about, right? You know what I'm saying?
But how uncomfortable were you doing that the first couple times?
Oh, very.
Like,
how did uncomfortable even to ask for it, and you.
But what's the feeling that you had?
Guilt, a little bit, because you know what you should be doing. So for me, there's a little bit when I'm feeling guilty about something, right?
Right.
Okay, then somebody's not holding me accountable on something, and so this one thing that I've been meaning to do for weeks. I actually just had a conversation with Katie at the office. Before the weekend, that will be done. I've been feeling guilty for a week because I just haven't made the time to get it done, but it needs done.
The execution piece.
Yes. So for me, a little bit of guilt, but it's uncomfortness, meaning that when you sit down, because it's intimate. It's intimate when you invite someone into that level of your life. And I mean, you asked me too about people that push you. My wife has been, if you're listening, Kari, thank you. You have made me a much better person, a much better man, a much better father, a much better business person, and leader. And she just has a way of, also telling me things with love. And you invite that in, and she's made me better for it. She's one of the best mentors that's helped me get better, and I think that we should all have someone in our life like that.
1,000%. Because again, everybody has to have some type of accountability partner,
Totally.
right? Whether you're single, married, it doesn't matter,
right?
Because what it is that what that thing is that you're looking for, that's what you need help with. And let's face it, as human beings, it's kind of in our DNA to like. Yeah, we can go into fight or flight mode or whatever it may be, but you still need someone kind of poking at you.
No, you do.
Hey, Todd, what are you doing?
Right.
Oh, well, I'm really stop BSing yourself.
But
What's holding you back from?
Well, here's the other thing. You asked what I was feeling, and guilt's part of it, right? And it's more of also of conscious, like an overachiever. Anybody that wants to do more. I'm not saying I'm an overachiever. I want to be an overachiever.
Right.
So I am consciously always. I was a wrestler. It's a single sport. The only way you're getting better is you have to self-assess. And so that's what I'm talking about, trying to be an overachiever, is you're constantly self-assessing to try to get better. And there's times I do it better than other times. And there's times where I don't do it at all. And, those are
You gotta shoot.
right?
You gotta shoot for the legs.
But there's those times, that maybe that's when you plateau or when you run into trouble on something.
Or your confidence or something is holding you back. Maybe
Right.
maybe you got your
part
butt.
of it is, you asked me, guilt was one thing I said. Fear. Fear. It's the fear. When you know you're afraid, man, if I go there, they're going to want to meet me every morning for coffee and make sure I'm doing right. That's scary to me. Okay. The gym. Man, that's scary to me. I mean, I'm going to actually have to be at the gym at this time, get up, and when I want to stop and I don't want to do more reps and they're saying do more,
Squeeze one
they're going to
more.
make me do one more, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid of that. Or I'm afraid of trying something new. Okay? So I've never done that before. Okay. But good people will push you to others will push you. I would like to say we have the internal fortitude to go, I'm going to go do it, and I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
But so I think guilt and fear, and if you're feeling those two things, then do something about it.
Well, and again, listen, we're in real estate, for God's sake,
Right.
okay?
Right.
I always have an adage. Listen, whatever you're going to try, you're not going to die, okay? We're not firefighters. We're not some industry where there's potential death of you could get hurt and fall and die. It's just your ego and your mind that gets bruised. And it's what do you have to lose? Nothing.
Nothing.
And everything to gain, because as you get more and more comfortable, when that little fear thing kicks in, or that, I'm uncomfortable, and you do something, it might not go perfect, but you did it.
Yes.
And it's okay, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
I'm
exactly.
still, okay, I'm still breathing. Let me try it again, and let me try it again. And I find that the more repetition of that uncomfortableness feeling, oh my God, next thing you know, you're going. And I see that, I'm sure you see that too with agents where they're kind of timid. You meet them that first year that they're in this business, and it's they're all mild-mannered and stuff. And then 2 or 3 years later, you see them at something, and they're standing a little taller.
Totally.
Their confidence is different.
Yes.
They got a little bit of money in their pocket because they've been making sales, and it's the demeanor is completely different.
Totally.
That's cool when that
is cool.
That
That's
part,
very cool.
I love it when that happens.
That is. All right, so number 3 and number 4. I know I only said 3, but I got
Keep
I got
going.
4.
I'm glad you're keeping track.
Number 3 is making sure you're spending time on what you do best. And those things that maybe are taking longer and you're not doing as good, that you find a way to get those done by either delegating, offloading, getting someone else on your team or something to do them. And then I'm just saying, when you're talking about top agents know where they're best and they know where they're the worst. And they don't try to do it all because they give up that worst. Some people can't let go of that worst. That contract. They're not good at writing contracts, or they're not good, maybe you got to write the contract, but you're not good at editing and the paperwork and all the transaction management and everything that goes along with it. Okay, you don't even like it. Give it to a transaction coordinator and learn how to let go and let the transaction coordinator do it. That's a big thing that I see top agents. And number 4 is mindset. It's just a positive mindset versus a negative mindset, which on the other side of what I see that's bad, agents that aren't doing well, it's that negative mindset. And that because of the positive mindset, what you think and where you think is where you go. And I think I can do that. I think I can get this, this deal done at this price. And I'm not going to stop for my client until I actually make that happen. It's not about sales. It's not about manipulation.
Right.
It's about serving your client, take care of your client. But you know what? I have a positive attitude about it, and this is what I'm going to go do.
It's part of the art of the sale.
Industry's a little tough right now from a transaction standpoint, but you know what? I got a good coach. I got a good team. I got a good mentor. I got a good, skills.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get up in the morning, and I'm going to get after it. And it's that positive versus, oh, man, yesterday was terrible. I just,
but they'll drag that for days, sometimes weeks.
Right.
And you're like, what are you doing? That was 2 weeks ago.
Well, even when it happens right in the day, the sooner you recognize it. Do you remember Tommy Hopkins?
Yeah.
The real estate, speaker and everything. I used to do some work with him years ago, and I just remember reading from his book one of the stories, or sitting in a seminar. He had a really bad day, and one of his deals fell apart, and he was just moping around the office. And one of his broker actually took him and said, "Get in your car." And the broker had grabbed like 100 of his business cards, didn't tell him, drove him like a mile and a half away from his office, and just said, "Get out of the car." And gave him the 100 business cards and said, "Don't come back to the office until they're all handed out."
I love it.
And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You can sit around the office all afternoon and be negative and be, yeah, my deal fell apart, and yeah, this is, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and you're not going to make any phone calls." He said, "Instead, get back out there." And he's door knock the whole way back to the office, and don't come back if you haven't given away all your cards. So he did. He door knocked and everything. Comes back into the office. He's like, "I have 2 new listing appointments. I've got someone that's, wants to see a home over in a certain area." Turned it around. So that's the story I remember him telling and writing in the book. But I often think of those things when you have a day like that, and then you can be negative or positive or turn it around, and top agents turn it around.
So we have a saying on our team: when you lose one, you get 3. This works. You lose one deal, you're going to get 3. We had an agent lose 2.
They got 6.
They ended up, 5 deals came out of the blue, out of nowhere.
Right.
She's like, "Dave, it really works." I go, "Yes, it works." It's mindset, because people go, "Oh my God, I lost a deal." No, you didn't lose a deal. You never had it to begin with. The only way you lose a deal is if they go into your bank account and pull the money out. That's never happened. So you've never lost anything. And so what happens is that when a deal goes under contract, what are they doing? Let's see how much I sold it for times 3%. And they start looking at that money.
Right.
And so the money goes ahead of the client versus the client ahead of the money. And that's where
it always goes sideways.
It goes sideways.
It does. It
so
does.
fast.
It just happens. So that's a good.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. So you're an organized guy. You run a calendar. You run a lean and mean calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do? What do you do in your evening time frame or morning time frame so that you got to take the air out of the tires, whatever, maybe it's a long weekend. What does Todd do to completely let the air out of the tires so that you can regroup for a minute? Or do you always like to have it idle? Because I'm an idle type guy, but I'm interested in what you do.
Well, I do in the morning time, I do have a routine, and it's not all just get up and, from the beginning.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of ramping up and following, but yet I do pretty much try to get after it pretty quick. But at night, it's more for me. It's shut everything, put everything down,
Mm-hmm.
and don't have your face in your phone, and put your feet in the pool for a minute and just sit and listen while the dogs are running around a little bit, and just. It's more of relax and reconnect, with your family. What are we doing this for? Why are we working this way? And so it's put everything down, connect with my wife, connect with my dogs, my children if they're around. My boys are a little bit older, but they're around. And, try to connect and reconnect.
When's the last time you look at your cell phone? Do you have Like
It's
a deadline,
difficult
or do you?
sometimes too you'll pick up your phone to check, ESPN, or you're gonna, check something that's going on, and sometimes you're doing something personal where it's gonna be like, oh, I got to go to Home Depot, and you're on the app at Home Depot.
Right.
So I won't say it's a hard and fast rule, but I do try to make that distinction of, hey, set it down for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm flipping from work to personal, and I'm gonna change. I'm gonna try to, and I try to have that focus during the day. That if they call or if something happens, hey, what do I need to do? But you do try and make that. Hey, let's hang up some problems till tomorrow or till later tonight if you need to work on them at night. Because there are times where you need to do something at night. Like if I'm traveling in the middle of the week and I'm in a hotel room by myself, I'm going to go have dinner, and then I'm going to rest and watch ESPN for a minute, and then I'm going to boot back up, and I'm going to get prepared for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's just.
I know you're
it's
scrolling around on social media when you're out of town. That's like my entertainment. But anyway.
But it's just that. I mean, I like to cook a little when I cook too. Like, it'll help me if I'm at home. It'll help me, kind of change.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a spiritual component for many of us, and it's staying connected with that
100%.
in the morning and at night, and remembering why we're here and that we only have a certain amount of time to do something with it, and let's make sure that we're doing the right things with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a prediction so we can play it back like 2 years from
Okay,
now
all
and
right.
go, holy cow, we were way off.
Ooh, I never do.
All right,
these.
so today is September 12th
Right.
of 2025.
Yep.
Let's go, how far out do you want to go? You want to go a year out? Let's go a year from now. What do you think the landscape's going to look like for us in real estate next year, this same time?
Well, let me tell you what all the economic data, even last week at that summit in D.C., the economists that I listened to, that housing is very local. And that's why the importance of the local realtor is very important. It changes. Yes, there are some national tendencies which are overarching, but really it is local. But at a national level, transactions are low historically for a typical year in real estate. And there's multiple factors for that right now, where some people have older or have mortgages that might have low interest rates. There's a large amount of people that don't have any mortgage, but if they sell their home, there's some capital gains, indications. So, inventory, the home building industry is underbuilt for many years.
Yep.
Affordability right now is a problem, and we need to fight and help people who are renting, who want to own, get over that hurdle and get into home ownership, because it's not, the supply problem is going to take a long time to try to solve.
Yeah.
There are certain pockets, certain neighborhoods where maybe there's an overabundance of supply. And if you're in an area where it's all centered around one major business, that business goes out of business, supply will go up. But really, in most cases, supply is pretty low. Yes, it's getting a little higher, but it's still not normal levels.
No.
So that's going to take a while to go away. So prediction.
A year from now.
The prediction a year from now is that the agents who focused on their customers and building relationships and maintaining those relationships with their customers from a servant attitude of, I just want to provide information, I'm here to help you. If they have a question and you're meeting with them, you answer their questions, you help them overcome roadblocks. Those agents are going to be successful in any market.
Yep.
And they're going to be successful next year. We're going to see a slight increase in transactions just because it's been too many years of just this low number, and we have this overpopulation that is getting larger. So probably going to see an extra 300, 400,000 transactions. If the interest rates drop below 5, I think you'll see an extra 500,000 first-time home buyers that are able to buy. The problem is that if they that there's a risk. They can't wait too long because home prices go up when that amount of demand happens too. So we've got to be ready with our clients to help them get in early. But so my prediction is that we're going to be a slight increase. Home prices are going to stay level or up unless we have some financial debacle.
Yeah.
And realtors are going to be needed and trusted more than ever because the information keeps duplicating every day and it all contradicts each other, and they need consumers want and need truthful information, and they can get that from a real estate agent, a professional, in my opinion.
You mean AI is not going to be able to take care of that for them?
No, AI.
Just so you know, AI is not going to help you. So here we go.
No.
So you heard it from Todd a year from now. Okay, so we'll have to do a little playback.
Yeah.
Well, again, I appreciate you coming and spending the day with us.
Thank you for having me
and sharing everything.
No, this has been great. This has been it's inspiring just to sit and talk with you.
Well, good.
So appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. Again, please hit the like button, subscribe. We're always dropping something interesting every week. And again, make it a great day.